Today I'm going to show you a very basic sample report where we can create in a BEX. Don't worry, we have a separate class for BEX. There we're going to learn in depth of the BEX training, BEX concepts. But here I'm going to show you, since we have created InfoCube, let's start creating a small or simple report by using InfoCube. Okay, for that, so you need to log on to your BW system first. Okay, the transaction code for BEX is going to be RRMX. When you open this, it's going to open one of the BEX tool called BEX Analyzer, which is integrated with your Microsoft Excel. Can you see that my Excel has been opened automatically? There is a tab called Add-ins, which is an additional tab. When you type only RRMX, you get this tab. Otherwise, if you normally open your Microsoft Excel, you're not going to see this particular tab. Click on Add-ins tab. There is an option called Tools. Then select Create New. It's going to ask you, please enter your username and password. Please provide your BW username and password to log on to your BEX Query Designer. It's going to open your BEX Query Designer. This is a place where we're going to design all your queries. The 90% of time we're going to work in real time with the BEX Query Designer only. So expand this. It contains certain screens. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to this. It's an info provider. This particular screen is going to help you. What are the all data targets we can create reports. So those data targets, whenever I select, those information will be displayed here. Coming to the restrictions and all, we can restrict the data by using the certain values here. Then I have two tabs here. One is a filter, other one is a rows and columns. Then apart from that, then I have a important tab called rows or columns, which you have to select. This is a place we're going to design. The first thing is, if you want to start your BEX Query Designer, I need to get the data. So where is the data available? The data is available in the info provider. So click on a Create New button. You need to start looking for the data, where the data is located. My data is located in the InfoCube. Select and search for your InfoCube technical name if you remember. If you don't remember, go back to your BW. So from where we have come. Okay. So what is your InfoCube technical name? SIC_EX16. Okay. SIC_EX16 is my InfoCube technical name. Click on Find. It's going to display your InfoCube. This is a data provider for me. This is an info provider for me. So click on Open. It's going to open the structure of your InfoCube, how you have designed. How many dimensions you have? I have 3 dimensions. It's a predefined dimensions. Additionally, I have created 2 dimensions. And I have, these are the key figures available in this particular InfoCube. Very good. Then what I can do? Click on rows and columns. Select your characteristics and drag and drop into rows. Select all your key figures and drag and drop into columns. Then click on Save. I can say this is going to be my report 2. You can give any name. Click on Save. Once you've done this, click on Execute. It's going to be display the output in your Microsoft Excel, which is, we call it's a BEX Analyzer. Please observe here, it has been displayed. If the values are there, it will display the values. Otherwise, it won't display any values to you. This is a very simple report I'm displaying to you, how to create a report on top of InfoCube. You don't need to worry about that and what are the things I need to right now to look into the BEX and all, because we are not talking about BEX today. There is a separate section for BEX class. We're going to talk only BEX at the time. Okay. So let's come back to the business. We are talking about InfoCubes. Yesterday we have created one InfoCube, a standard InfoCube, and we have loaded the data. Today I'm going to discuss about the second type of InfoCube, or how can we load the data automatically or schedule. That is called process chains. Process chains we use to automate most administration and monitoring tasks such as transactional and master data loads, index and statics rebuilds, which can be done by using your process chains. What is a process chain? The name itself says that it is a process, a chains. Okay, so what is a process? A process is a job or task or activity. A chains of activity linked together, which we call process chains. What are the activities normally we have in a BW? Most of the time we have normal activities are loading the data. Okay, so that is also I call it a process chain. So these loading data I am linking together. For example, loading a data from your source system into data source by using an InfoCube, it is one process. From PSA to data target, loading the data, to using a data transfer process, it is another process. So if I want to complete my task, if I want to complete my data loading process from the source system to till InfoCube, there are two different or three different or number of different processes are involved, which has to be worked together. So we need to attach this process, that is called process chains. In a chain of the process, we're going to add all these things. What has to be done first, next what's supposed to be, later what's supposed to be, etc. Like that it will go. So like this you can create any number of processes according to your requirement. And I'm going to set up when this task or activities should be executed or should be run. That is called scheduling. That can be happens by creating a process chain concept. What is a process chain? As we discussed just now, it is a group of process or system jobs which are linked together. Each process has defined a beginning point and end point. Obviously, I need to know when I need to start my process and where it has to be end. That is called beginning point and end point. The process chain also can send email alerts based on the events happening in the system, which makes the management more efficient and eliminates manual efforts. This is the main reason why I'm using a process chains. It contains some collectors here and or exclusive or you can say this is it is not going to be operator, it is a collectors where we can interlink a different process by using these collectors. And process always whatever the process that are preceded must be send an event for subsequent process to be executed. It will be always the first starting point should be executed and successfully, then it should send this information to the next level of the process to execute those things. For example, the first process is failed, the rest of will not be executed. That is an AND process. Or is at least one preceded process must send an event. The first process that sends an event trigger to the subsequent process. Either the first one should be executed or the second one should be executed successfully in the process chain wherever you have added the OR collector. Exclusive OR or XOR is similar to regular OR, but there is only one execution of success processor. Even if several processors raise an event, any one should be successful, rest of the chain will be automatically executed. Okay, these are the collectors we're going to use. Now let me show an example to you. We're going to load a transaction data from flat file to the InfoCube, that is a standard InfoCube with variable units and variable currencies and date using a process chain. Yesterday we have loaded only of fixed units and fixed currencies. Today I'm going to show you how to create a key figures with variable units and variable currencies, and then we load the data by using process chain. Right? Let's start that. Okay, let me show you how the flat file looks for variable units and variable currencies. Can you see here? All my units are different values. All my currencies are different currencies. This is called variable units and this is called variable currencies. It's a mix of values, mixed of currencies. Okay, that is called variable units and variable currencies. Okay, the first thing, log on to your BW RSA14 because I want to create info objects. That is called key figures. Okay, 9 p.m. batch. So I want to create a key figure batch for this. Right click on this, say create info object catalog. You can right click on any info area whichever you're working. Info object catalog for key figures. Okay, this is a 7 a.m. batch. Key figure info object catalog for 7 a.m. batch for process chains, and you need to make sure that you're going to select a key figure, then press enter to select cast, click on create. I have created one info object catalog, activate F3. I got my catalog, right click, say create info object. Let me create the key figure, quantity underscore, it's a process chain, let's say P, product quantity, press enter. The data type supposed to be quantity. Now please observe the variable units and variable currencies. So I'm going to use a predefined object called 0 unit. Okay, press enter, then click on activate. We need to use the 0 unit, so I can enter any kind of units here. There is no fixed values. Now click on F3. Right click on this, say create object. This time I'm going to create sales underscore P, sales, press enter. It's supposed to be amount data type, then 0 currency, press enter. Since I'm entering 0 currency, it's a predefined info object which starts with a 0. I can enter any kind of currencies here. Click on activate. Let me create one more. It's a profit underscore P, sales, profit. This is again amount data type, so I need to use again 0 currency. I can enter any type of currencies here, activate. So once your key figures are activated, then I need to start. My task here is I want to load a transaction data to a standard InfoCube through the process chain. What does it mean? It is automated, not manual. I don't want to load manually the data. As of now, whatever the examples we have covered in all the previous example, we have loaded data manually. How? I have created info package, I have click on start. I have created a DTP, I have click on execute. Then the data is to load. That is called a manual way of loading the data. But right now in this particular task, I want to load the data by using a process chains. For that, what I need to do? I don't want to use any kind of manual process. Let's beginning this example. So first thing what I need to do, I have completed my key figures. Then the first thing is I need to start creating my data source. Select data sources. Okay, 9 p.m. batch, open this. Let's create data source ds underscore td. Okay, it's example 5. Let's say it's a 5. Create a transaction data. Click on this, continue. Enter short, medium, long description. Data source for transaction data, process chain. Okay, you can enter anything here, whatever your business requirements. Click on extraction. You have to be very careful in this particular extraction tab. The reason because we are loading the data, especially for process chain. The process chain is going to accept the data only from work directory. The file, whatever the file you have created, the flat file, create a flat file with variable units and currencies and date, but save the file in the work directory. What is a work directory? The work directory you need to find out if it is in a real time, they're going to give you the path to you and they're going to place the file also. That is not your job. But in a practicing purpose, we need to find out what is the work directory. Generally, in case if you have installed a BW system on your laptop, the work directory will be this: d/user/sap/dev some code here /work. Work directory is nothing but it's a work folder, a Windows folder which belongs to SAP server. So open this particular folder and place your files here. Whenever you are working with the process chain, it will points to my applications. We call it as application server. The application server path is called work directory or work directory path. The file should be located under this particular directory. Okay. Let me come back to my BW system. Let me see that where is my work directory here. Open your folder, D drive, user, SAP, B74C. Slightly the path has been changed. Then enter your BVEMBG. This number also slightly changed. I have work folder. This is my work directory. Open this work directory. Look for your file. I have placed already one file. Can you see? I have placed one file called transaction data variable. You have to place like this. Okay. Now come back to your data source. The adapter should be for process chains. Load text type file from application server. Click on browse. It's going to ask you where is a file. You want to display list of the files from application server. The transaction code is A11. So it is already there. Please click on A11 files. It's open the lot of SAP directories. You need to look for where is your work directory. This is my work directory path. Okay. So what is the name of this directory? dir_home. Double click on it. It's going to display your work directory. Please observe this is a path of your work directory for this particular system. Okay. Now you need to locate where is your file is located. This is my file. Okay. Double click on select this file. It's going to ask you please copy the path name. Yes, click on copy name. It is going to copy exactly the path from your application server or work directory, whatever you call. This you have to do that, otherwise your process chain is not going to work. Click on headers to be ignored 1, rest of all same. Data format CSV, data separator, comma, proposal tab, load example data, fields tab. Let's map the fields, SMID underscore whatever 3 or 4, whatever you want to enter. Do not show, copy, then PID underscore 13, quantity QTY underscore P I have entered. It is going to, whenever you're loading your variable units, whenever you enter your quantity, when you mention in a quantity 0 units, in a field mapping times, it's going to create one additional unit. See, reference field unit was added automatically. If you click on OK, you can observe there are 2 units fields are there. It is going to give you one additional. In case if you have not added, it is going to help you. Since we already had it, we don't require the second one. Please select units, click on delete. I'm going to remove that. Yes. Then sales underscore P, profit underscore P, currency, 0 currency, enter. Date of transaction 0 cal day. I'm using all predefined info objects. Go to preview tab, read preview data, activate. Continue. So my data source is ready now. The next step is I need to create my data target. For this particular example, I am selecting my data target supposed to be InfoCube. So select info provider under modeling, right click on your info area. This is my info area. I have only one InfoCube with the fixed values. Right click on info area, select InfoCube. Let's create standard InfoCube. This is going to be process chain, PC. Okay, standard InfoCube for process chains. Okay, SIC PC is already there. Just give one extra, PC1. Now click on expand. So my InfoCube has been ready. Right click on dimension, properties, sales, dimension. I'm renaming dimension 1. I want one more. Right click on this, create new dimension, product dimension. I want to add the characteristics into this. So what I need to do, right click on this. What is the fields you have mapped here? You need to remember that. So what I need to do, open a new session. If you don't remember, go back to your data source RSA15, expand this. What is your data source you have used here? Process chain. Open this, go to fields tab. I have used SMID underscore 3, PID underscore 13. Very good. Come back to InfoCube. SMID underscore 3. Okay. So directly right click on this dimension, because since I'm adding only one info object direct input. Since I know the technical name, SMID underscore 3. That's it. Once you've done that one, product dimension is same. Right click info object direct input, PID 13. Continue. The salesman and product ID has been added to the respective dimension. Now I want to add time characteristics. Right click on time dimension, info object direct input, 0 cal day. This time I'm going to add additional time info objects. Let me add 0 cal month, 0 cal year. I'm going to explain this. Since I have only one date field, but I'm adding additional time characteristics. Okay, now my time characteristics also completed. Now key figures. Click on info object catalog. I have a key figure. Where is my key figures for loading fixed values? Key figure catalog. Okay, go back to your info objects. What is a key figure catalog? Technical name IOC KF 7 AM. It is under IA 9 AM. Okay. This is 9 PM. So you need to change your info area. I have created a key figure catalog in different info area. That's the reason it is not displaying here. Click on info area. That is called IA underscore 9 AM. Press enter. It's going to find out. See? Now open this. Now I can see my key figure catalog. Select your key figure catalog. Double click on it. Expand your key figures folder. Select all your key figures. Drag and drag. Please observe, when I use a key figures called variable units and variable currencies, if you go here, you can see what is the values it is added. For profit, I have added a 0 currency. For quantity, I have added a 0 unit. For sales, I have added a 0 currency again. This is called unit of measures. These will be automatically added under units dimension. If you expand unit dimension, those things automatically added. 0 currency, 0 unit. Clear? Once you've done everything, click on activate. This is how I'm designing my InfoCube. Once your InfoCube is activated, let me check what other tables has been created. Click on extras, information log status, then click on dictionary/db status. It has created 2 flat files, package dimension, time dimension, unit dimension, dimension 1, dimension 2. Only change is InfoCube technical name. The rest of all standard for every InfoCube. Okay, and depends on how many dimensions you have created. Close this. Close this. Now my InfoCube is ready. I need to create a transformation. Right click on InfoCube, create a transformation, select data source, ds_td ex5. I think it is a 5 only. Yeah, it is a 5 only. Okay, so please observe SMID to SMID, product ID to product ID. Quantity, please observe here. The quantity and unit automatically map to the quantity. The sales and currency, these two automatically map to sales, because we have mentioned the unit of measure. But calendar day map to only 0 cal day, not for month and year. So what I need to do, I need to map manually. The calendar day goes in InfoCube, 0 cal day, 0 cal month. Once you've done this one, click on activate. Once you activate this, my transformation is ready now. Click on back button. Please observe the transformation icon under your InfoCube. Now go to data source, expand your data source, look for that there is a no transformation option. It still shows a dot. You need to click on refresh. Now it will display your transformation. Okay, fine. Right click on this, create info package. I need to extract the data. Info pack for process chains. Go to schedule tab. Guys, be careful. If you click on a start, it is going to load the data. What is my activity here? My activity here, I want to load the data through the process chains, not manually. If you click on here, the data will be loaded manually. Please remember, do not click on start button. Okay, please remember, do not click on start button. The reason, because it will be loaded. There is no use of process chain now. If you click on start button, I don't want to click. Click on save. Go back. What you need to do is open a notepad. Copy this InfoCube technical name. Control C. Paste into notepad. Okay. Now right click on data source. Create data transfer process. Continue. Extraction mode full. Execute tab. Activate. If you click on execute, the data will be loaded to InfoCube. So please remember, do not click on execute button. Do not click on execute button. If you click on execute, the data will be loaded to InfoCube. So we want to load the data through the process chain. Okay, do not click on this. Go back. What you need to do, expand the data flow, select your DTP, technical name, copy, Control C, paste into notepad. So I have taken info package technical name, DTP technical name. Okay, once you've done this one, let's go to process chain. /o RSPC. RSPC is a process chain technical name. Press enter. It is going to open. Please observe. I am here only. Still I am in the data warehouse workbench only, but it is selected process chain screen. Please observe. There will be a display component which you have to create similar to your application component or info area. Why we create info area? To organize info object catalog. Why we create a application component? To organize the data source. Very similar way, to organize all your process chains, I need to create one display component. It is a folder like object. How to create? Right click on the header of process chain, create display component. You need to give a technical name. For example, let's say display component underscore, for example 7 AM batch. Then enter process chain for transaction data loading. Press enter. It's created one application display component. See this? Now you can use this to create all your process chain under this particular folder. Right click on this folder, say create process chain. Now it is asking what is your process chain technical name. PC underscore, for example, let's say example 16. Okay. First process chain. Press enter. As I said that every process chain has a starting point. It is asking please insert your start process. Do we have any existing start process till now? No. This is the first time I'm creating. So I don't have any existing. Then what is the other option you have? Create new. Click on create new. It's going to ask you please start giving a name of your start process. Okay. Start process underscore example 1. You can enter any name here. Start process. Click on continue. When you continue, it is going to ask you when do you want to start the process. It has taken some date and time automatically. I don't want this. You can change the selection. Now you have an option here, date and time. When do you want to schedule on particular date, for example today, and particular time, for example this date, and when do you want to end, for example particular day and particular time. This is the purpose of process chain. On this particular day, the process chain will trigger and start loading the data. In real time, we are going to load the data only through the process chain. I'm repeating, in real time, we are loading the data only through the process chain. There is no manual efforts. Okay, but I cannot schedule right now because for training purpose, I want to load immediately. Click on load immediately. Click on save. Once you're done, click on save this. Click on F3. Now my start process is ready. It has created one start process. Click on continue. It automatically opens your start process. Okay. Click on navigation on or off button. So my start process is ready. Now what I need to do? I know when I want to load the data. So I need to know first what the data has to be loaded first. First I need to load the data from source system into BW, that is called info package. Then what I need to do? I need to load the data from data source, that is called PSA, to InfoCube, that is called DTP. Fine. So first call info package. Expand load processing and post processing. There is an option called execute info package. Double click on it. It is going to ask you that please select any existing or create new. Do you have info package already created or we need to create new? We already created. Okay. What is the technical name? I have copied and pasted here. Okay. Take this technical name. Paste here. Click on continue. One advantage here is whenever you add info package, it is automatically looking for relevant DTP and it brings DTP also automatically. That is a one advantage. See, I have added only info package. It is automatically bringing its relevant DTP. So no need to add a DTP separately. Once you've done this one, please observe. It says a DTP till to InfoCube connectivity. It's displaying your InfoCube technical name also. Now what I need to do is I need to start adding a delete index and create index. It's going to sorting your data. It is going to create an index and delete index. Any one process if you want to create, the rest of the process. For example, I am creating a generate index. Automatically delete index will be created. If I create delete index, automatically generate index will be created. Okay. So do you have any existing generate index? No. I need to create. Okay. Click on create. Please give some name. Generate index underscore example 1. Enter. Generate index for example 1. Press enter. It is asking on which info object type you want to create index. InfoCube. What is your InfoCube technical name? I am not aware of. Click on browse and find. Click on find. SIC underscore PC1. This is my InfoCube. Search. It will find. This is my InfoCube. Select. Double click on it. This is the InfoCube where I want to create index. Okay. Save this. Click on go back. My index has been created automatically. Please observe when I click on continue, it's automatically bring delete index. Can you see the delete index also created? So now what I need to do, right click on this link, remove, then move your process chains little down. Now I need to start connecting all my process. First I want to start this process and connect to generate index. Okay, it's not generate index, it should be first delete index. Finally we need to generate index. Connect this. From delete index connect to info package. Successful, yes. From info package already connected with TP, then connect to create index. Yes. Once you're done, you want to arrange this, click on refresh icon. It's arranged properly. Now I want to activate and execute our schedule. It's going to ask you what is the priority. We have a higher priority A, medium priority, standard priority. Click on continue. Now click on a job log. Please observe whenever you see a green color, see right now these two are in a green color. It means that the data is moving through the chains. It is in a yellow color means it is under processing. Okay. So now click on refresh. Now all are green. What does it mean? The data moved. If all are green, you have successfully loaded the data. The data loading is done through the process chain. Do you want to check? Yes. This is my info package. Right click on it. Process monitor. Okay. When you say process monitor, please observe that I have my load request. Select it. 20 records displaying. Click on PSA maintenance. It has 20 records. Continue. The data loaded to the PSA successfully through the process chain. Very good. Go back. Now I want to see the data in InfoCube. Select your InfoCube. Right click. Administrate target. It says there is a one load request. Reporting is available. 20 records transfer. 10 records added because the data has been aggregated. Select your standard InfoCube. Click on contents. Field selection for output. Select salesman ID, product ID, calendar day, calendar year, calendar month, whatever you want. You can select all the required. Click on execute, execute. The data loaded to the process chain, the data loaded to the InfoCube through the process chain. We have not done any manual. Now go back. In the start process we have said load immediately. That's the reason we have executed manually. If you set up the date and time, the particular date and time the data will be loaded. This is how we need to create a process chain. Is it clear for everyone? Please unmute yourself and speak.
Yes, Kiran.
Yes, Kiran.
But I have a small doubt, Kiran.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is something you're loading from a local workstation, but we don't have access to the local workstation, so we can load from the desktop. Means our
No, it should be from application server.
Oh, sorry, yes, not from local server. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I have placed a file here.
Yes.
I think you guys can access it. It is under user SAP B74. This is a path. There is the file is there already, so no need to bother. For practicing purpose, you can use the same file.
Okay, Kiran. Kiran, okay. For email alerts, we have to do separate configuration.
Yeah, for the email alerts and all, they will give you the task to you, what is has to be done and what email alerts you need to set up in real time. That is a different case. The major important in a process chain, you need to understand how to load the data, because every day we're going to load the data through the process chain. Most of in the supporting projects, you're going to get all the tickets from the process chain, because in a certain cases the process chain loading will be failed. I'm going to discuss about that, how the load fails, then what you need to do.
Okay.
Okay. Next class I'm going to discuss about that, how do you need to start the process again? How do you need to interrupt the process in between? See, what happen is, in one particular process is failed, the rest of the process below that, it will not execute because it is a chain. So in that situation, what I need to do? So those things will be discussed in the next class, but it is very important for you need to be very particular and should have very good clarity how the data can load through the process chain. Any questions here?
Can you go back to transformation?
Go back to where?
Transformation for this process chain. I have a question related the mapping.
Sureka, your voice is not clear.
Hello, is it clear now?
A lot of echo is there.
Okay.
Can you mute your speakers and speak? No, only speakers. Maybe your speakers is giving echo sound to you. Just mute only speakers. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Can you go back to transformation?
Go back to transformation.
Yes.
What transformation you're talking about? This info provider, this transformation?
Yeah, today's one.
Yeah, okay, I'm in transformation.
My screen is not visible.
I can't understand single word, Sureka, a lot of echo. You just unmute your speakers. You can see the speakers is a big problem.
Kiran, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
My screen is not at research with Kiran.
No idea what you're talking. So you want to see the process chain or you want to see the transformation? Which you want to see? Screen not yet refreshed. Okay, let me refresh. Can you see the screen now? Yeah, refresh the screen. Can you see the screen now? Mapping. You mean the process chain? Okay. We have to be very careful with the technical words. If you say transformation, I'll go to transformation. Okay, I'm in a mapping. Not here. No, that's a problem. So you need to make sure what word you have to use. Back. Okay. I'm going back. Where you want to go? Okay, I'm in the modeling screen. DTP. Okay. Expand this. DTP. Monitor. Administer data target. I'm in DTP now. This is what you want? This is what you want, Shureka? I'll do one thing. I'll give you access to you. Okay, simply you can request access for my screen. Just right click on my name, say request keyboard access. Right click on my name, request keyboard access, I'll give you. Now you can show me what you want. In your GoToMeeting, right click on my name, say request keyboard access. Not able to see the option? Just right click, you can see that. Okay. Why only Raj is getting that option, rest of all not getting? Give keyboard and mouse. You are the only.
Okay then.
You are the only one who has that option. Maybe you are the right. You are right. Actually, you are more interactive. I will do one thing. I will go through the recording and ask the next question. Let me make a presenter. Maybe at least you can see that. No. Okay, you can speak. Let me try to understand what exactly you want. You can speak, Sureka. No issues. Go ahead.
Kiran, actually, that mapping will come, right, by creating a transformation and all.
Data field mapping.
Yeah, field mapping.
Okay, that is not transformation or DTP. That is called
Transformation. Data source.
Data source. Okay, I'm in the field mapping. Okay.
Yeah, here only.
What is the question?
Can you open that mapping?
Okay, you want to go to that transformation, that mapping. Okay, graphical mapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a graphical mapping. Yes.
Yeah, here why it is taking this 0 cal day and then the 0 cal month and then the next one as primary keys, Kiran. I have seen the same thing with the text also.
Your question is why it is taking 0 cal month, 0 cal year.
1 second. Yeah, here this 0 cal day, 0 cal month and then 0 cal year, all these three fields, why it is taking it as primary keys?
Where is the primary key? Primary key is this. This is only primary key.
Yeah, but here I can see the key symbol, right? What does this mean?
Oh, okay. This one, it is a time characteristics, right? There should be also primary keys in the time characteristics. Okay, there is the one primary key for product. See, the product also taken it is. Since it is a characteristics, it will act as a primary key and make any one of them as a primary key. Okay, but see, observe this key figures, it is not taking as any primary key. Only characteristics will be act as a primary key. So in out of these things, I can make any one of them as a primary key. It's by default, it is all primary keys only. Clear?
Yes, it's clear, Kiran.
See, it will by default all will be primary keys only. But when I'm adding into another table, I want one primary key. So I want to make it as any one of them as a primary key. So right now what I'm doing is a salesman ID to salesman ID. I made it as a primary key. So I'll get all sales related information. Then product ID to product ID, it is become a primary key here because a product ID also contains attributes. Then 0 cal day is coming up with a primary key, but I'm connecting to all this primary key to one particular info object called cal day, which is available in my data source. From this date of transaction, I am making the different types of connectivities. So all the primary keys are connected to one. So these are all not primary keys now. And only one will be added, either cal day or cal month or cal year. The reason because I am dividing the data into parts. One is a date, one is a month, one is a year. If you see the data output here, if you go back to your InfoCube, right click on this, say display data, salesman ID, product ID, execute. Okay, select a calendar day, calendar month, calendar year, execute. Can you see here? The month has been divided. It's year and month. Calendar day, it's completely date it is displaying. 0 cal year, it will display the cal year because I have not mapped there. That's the reason it is showing blank. If I map there, okay, let me map there and come back. See, I have not mapped here. Let me map 0 cal year. Activate this. Now right click on this, display data, field selection for output, product ID, salesman ID, cal day, cal month, cal year, execute, execute. Still it is not displaying. The reason because we have already loaded the data, so we need to reload the data again. If I want to reload the data, it's very simple. What I can do is double click on your DTP, monitor, administer DTP. I have one request. Let's delete this one. All your InfoCube data will be deleted. Delete this request. This request contain the data. Refresh, refresh. Request has been deleted now. Select your InfoCube contents. Field selection for output. Select, for example, 2. It says no data because I deleted the request. Now I want to reload. Why? Because I have mapped additionally one time cal year. How do I reload? Open your DTP, simply execute. That's it. It's going to ask you, do you want to display the request? Yes. Administer data target. See, I got a load request again. Now click on standard InfoCube, contents, field selection for outputs, SM ID, product ID, calendar month, calendar year, execute, execute. Now calendar year, the date is displaying, year is displaying. Clear?
I had a small doubt, Kiran.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now in this whole process chain, to what I understood is there will be notifications that will be sent on each part of the execution, right?
Yeah.
Which means when it's deciding that this is the right time to import, and there's going to be a notification to the user, and probably when it's complete, it's done. Do we need to configure that part as well, or when we are actually, does it happen automatically?
We need to configure, but they will be taken care by the technical people. And it will be already pre-configured few of process chains. If you want to start implementation, then you need to do all from the basics. See, basically there are two types of projects. One is the implementation project, other one is a supporting project. Implementation project, completely your BW will be blank. You need to start everything from the scratch. And coming back to the supporting project, where they already done the implementation, there is no more of implementation. You need to start managing all what they have created. They already created, everything will be created. So 90% of the time, if you're going to get into job in a BW, it will be supporting project only. Very rarely you'll get implementation. So in a supporting project, they'll be already set up everything. You don't need to set up anything. You need to start monitoring that. And you need to start fixing any kind of errors you're going to face when loading the data, and when you're sending the data from one place to another place. These kind of problems you're going to get, like connectivity failures and all the stuff, but you have to take care of. And they're going to also provide you some tasks like create one InfoCube or create one info object. That is called additional customization apart from your implementation. So these events and all this stuff, no need to worry about that one. It's already fixed, that one. We are not going to do that much. Only thing we need to concentrate on how to load the data through the process chain, which is very important, because our day-to-day activities will be only for loading the data and monitoring the data.
Fantastic. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Any other questions? Fine, guys. Thank you very much. We'll meet on next session. I think it will be on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Thank you all and have a nice weekend.
Perfect.